This week has been quite the week because the country lost its bid to have sway over the continent of Africa. Before I explain to you why the man lost, I've been wondering why the realm is so thoughtless, that even in mental aptitude as a nation, we are really struggling and coming behind. Then it hit me that this juvenile approach to things began with a pastorate. Listen, even the devil is at loss when God has not honed his artistry in a generation. Because you have people that are assembling at Abomas to pray. The question is, in whose name were they praying? Because you cannot tell me that you are a pastor, you want to pray for such a thing to play out in whatever realm, industry, or civilization, without inquiring from God first. So before you bless people, you meet God for the blessing. Before you talk to people about God, you meet God for the oracular commissioning. So I don't know whether you're a pastor or you're an intercessor, but then there's already a prophecy on ground, right? That's all. My question is, how can you go and prophesy through prayer that the man is endorsed by heaven when there's already a prophecy that reveals that it is not the will of God for Kenya to handle Africa this season, quote unquote? This is where this infantile approach is coming from. Because if I'm an intercessor, I will meet a prophet before I put my prayer on a pursuit. Every intercessor worth their metal will ensure that they have touched the day's prophecy before invoking intervention over an hour. Every pastor worth their salt must ask themselves, is there a prophetic release over this matter in the realms of the spirit, so that I don't bless what God has cast, I don't put the name of God on something that he has already withdrawn his commitment. But folks, why do we have a pastorate that loves food? Because this is just the love of food. Let's just be as basic as we can. That after prayer, you'll be given an envelope. You pass by Galleria, that is not very far from Bomas. You sit down to refreshments. Then you leave. It's just the love of smokies. But the reasons why we must prophesy against such a pastorate in our generation is because it is at the expense of the credibility of God. You just imagine you're a Christian. I was here prophesying. I prophesied. For those of us that might think that I'm just belatedly commenting on this issue. I prophesied on 20th of January, 2025, and my witnesses are here, that we will not have Africa, right? Yesterday. And then they are praying in the name of Jesus and affirming, that's all, that the man has been given the position. So imagine you're just a neutral Christian that just came, that this is in the name of Jesus, this is also in the name, prayer in the name of Jesus, prophecy in the name of Jesus. And there's no way to reconcile the two. Because at times prayer can be used to avert a prophetic doomsaying. But there has to be reconciliation. We must start with that predicate and say, this is what was said. Because of this, God has demanded for this sacrifice. The Spirit is asking for this alignment. And because we have made this alignment, so now it is possible for us to appeal this decision. I have no problem with your love of chips to eat for the purposes of your weight. The issue I have is the credibility of God in the generation. Because there's somebody that will look at us and say, all this is confusion, and just put it aside. And they will be justified in the chambers of reason. They will. I'm coming to you. So why must we give up Africa? Putting myself there as a Kenyan. Not just the man, but we as Kenyans. Why? Because we need this understanding. And that's why I said that we have a terrible nation if we don't have a prophetic voice in it. To tell the people that in this season, God is commanding Africa from Kenya, not from the office of the African Union. So as long as we have a prophet in Kenya, as long as we have a president in Kenya, we don't need to have. Listen, this is not my opinion. I was there. I have been attending those sessions of divine council for several months now, from the time they announced that they have forwarded his documents to be a candidate for that seat. I have been in that dimension in the spirit. I'm telling you things that I have seen, I have handled, and I have heard. This is why he lost. There was a sitting. These were some of the proceedings. That Africa has been given the mantle to command the heavens of Africa. Should we have a person upon the seat of the African Union, even when we have already decreed that leadership over the heavens of Kenya is leadership over the heavens of Africa? Even when we have decreed that a mind that a Kenyan space has endorsed to be a wisdom is a mind that can pass for prudence in every realm of Africa. Should we do that? And the judgment that was given is that let us not do it. Let us not have another person in that office. Let us have only one person. Because as I told you, that the kingdom will always manifest singularity. So I saw a man that rode in the same car with another man, not knowing that he was endorsing him for a seat that he already occupies. Him as the president is higher in the realms of the spirit as far as Africa is concerned. As the president of Kenya, he's higher in the realms of the spirit of Africa as far as the realms of the spirit are concerned, he is higher than the office of the African Union. You've heard him give brilliant speeches everywhere. Is that so? We have issues with him here at home, and that is a given. But according to the realms of the spirit, the person that sits on that seat in a Kenyan space has hegemony over the rest of Africa. So should we have another person in a genetically engineered seat to sit that also comes from Kenya? Does that injure our wisdom? According to the counsel of heaven, it does. So the decree was made. Don't give him the seat. Why? Because kingdoms work in singularities. If I am the president, therefore having hegemony over Africa, I can also not have another person from Kenya claiming another system of authority. According to heaven, I don't know what you think, because I am not in carnal gubernatorial scholarships of the earth. I am not a governor elected by the people. I am a prophet sent by God. According to the counsel of heaven, that was not a profitable wisdom. So don't give him. That information was already available September 2024. It was already in the realms of the spirit. That's why I'm wondering, these pastors, where are they flowing from? These intercessors. That's why I tell you, don't pray into a void. Don't pray for show. If you are praying, be in the spirit. If you are praying, handle things that are in the true realm of God. It is useless to have prayer activism without prophetic precision, without the detail of what God is saying. Because we don't have a prophetic voice in the land. Because the ones that are praying for you are blind guides like the Pharisees. So that now we come to my point, that we are losing the credibility of God. Because I saw the update on Facebook. See, we even prayed for him in Bomas. Because at the end of the day, it's still a God question. We prayed. Why didn't he? But if prayer is not giving you wisdom, why are you praying? If you are not praying as a manifestation of your spirit precision, what is the need of the prayer? You love Minute Maid. You love sausages when hot. That's why you're wasting time at the expense of a generation. I prophesy. Sobriety is coming back. God will anoint this prophetic voice. There shall be understanding in the land. I say there shall be understanding in the land. We shall not have pastors that are opportunists. We shall not have intercessory movements that are dead on arrival. We shall not have things that claim God, but they're actually claiming themselves. Woe unto you that has prospered because people are ignorant of God. Woe unto you that bought a Volkswagen Polo. My goodness. Because the people that are with you are not in the realms of the spirit. I bless you to inherit understanding. These lands of precision, prophetic alignment are yours. I prophesy they are yours. and your seed after you. In the name of Jesus, I decree and believe. Put your hand. The second thing I'm seeing a man. That was supposed to be over a continent, but he is under the house of Hager. I see a profanity and an obscenity involving him and a couple from the house of Hager. I heard the Lord ask, how can you reign? How can you reign? How can you reign? How can you reign? Did you not give your substance to the house of Hager? How can you reign? Did you not make your substance booty for the house of Hager? How can you reign? Is not the mystery of Hager great in the land because of you? How can you reign? The watcher lifted an oracle and began to ask in those days, how will this man reign? Yet all his substance has been given to the house of Hager, and because of him, the house of Hager is great in the land. How can he reign? Oh, I prophesy. How can you reign?